but it sure ain't perfect.
Parmjeet Parmar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm taking this call to support the Land Transport Amendment Bill in its second reading. Mr. Speaker, this bill was considered by the Transport and Industrial Relations Select Committee. And when this bill was going through the Select Committee process, my observation was that there was a huge amount of interest in one particular part of this bill, and that is the small passenger service industry provisions. If we look at this whole bill, actually, it is quite wide-ranging. It covers provisions to minimize fare evasion, to put in some effective deterrents in place, to reduce the incidences of fleeing drivers, to bring in alcohol interlocks to reduce drink driving offences. It's included changes to heavy vehicle regulations and also updating regulations regarding small passenger service industry. The Select Committee received 79 submissions, and we had the opportunity to hear from 32 submitters. And when I say, Mr. Speaker, that there was a huge amount of interest from small passenger service industry, that is based on the fact that out of 79 submitters, 54 had something to say about the small passenger service industry provisions in this bill. And I can understand this huge amount of interest in this particular part of the bill, because we have thousands and thousands of people employed in this industry across New Zealand. And we, other people, schools, hospitals, businesses, use small passenger service providers time to time to get transported. Yes, public safety, passenger safety is important, but it's also important to see that our regulatory framework is providing effective measures for all operators to be in the sector and work where they have a level playing field. Mr. Speaker, during the Select Committee process, we heard about passenger endorsement course, we heard about taxi stand issues, we heard about logbook timesheet issues, and many of these issues which came up during the Select Committee process are addressed in land transport rules. This sector, small passenger service industry, is just like any other business. Businesses want to cut their compliance cost, they want to be innovative, they want to adopt technology, and by updating these regulations for small passenger service industry, we will be giving this opportunity to small passenger service industry to be innovative, to adopt technology, to have new ways of interacting with their customers and providing service to their customers. Mr. Speaker, the other thing that I believe that attracted reasonable amount of interest was alcohol interlock provision in this bill. And 24 submitters had something to say about alcohol interlocks, and the overall view was that alcohol interlocks will prove to be an effective tool to reduce the incidences of people getting drunk and driving. And actually, this part of the bill is based on evidence. We know that alcohol interlocks will definitely reduce such incidences, and there will be more use of alcohol interlocks after this legislation is passed. On fare evasion, this is an issue that we thought that is mostly seen in Auckland, so there were several suggestions made to actually put more effective deterrents in place to reduce fare evasion cases. So overall, there were a huge amount of suggestions, so I want to thank all submitters for their contribution. I also want to acknowledge our Select Committee Chair, Jonathan Young, for his leadership during the Select Committee process, and I want to acknowledge our Minister, Honourable Simon Bridges, as well, as this is a bill that this industry, small passenger service industry, is very much looking forward to. So this bill will strengthen safety and will make our land transport system more effective. So I support this bill and commend this bill to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Julianne Ginter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.